Welcome to the 2023 Oscar preview show as presented by the Yay, Nay or Meh channel. This is a series of videos where I will be analysing the above-the-line categories at the 2023 Oscars. Even though I've been podcasting and reviewing films for over a decade now, I still consider myself an enthusiastic amateur rather than an expert. I didn't go to film school, I don't really have the training in it. This is the reason why I only do the major categories, because I honestly don't think I can give a value judgment as to what the best editing is, what the best production design is. But I do believe I can give value judgments about the best acting, the best directing, the best writing, and the best film. So that is why I only do the major categories. And I analyse the Oscars in a slightly different way than most people, because I spend almost as much time discussing what I think should have been nominated rather than what was nominated, and only limiting myself to that. And as such, these videos and in past years audio podcasts do get rather long. So what I've decided to do is split these reviews up into separate videos, and there will be one video for each category, where I will be discussing what I think will win, what I think should win, whether there were any snubs, and if there were any snubs, whether I personally think they should actually have won the Oscar. And in a couple of places I've gone really left field with what I think should win the Oscar. So this is going to be a long process. I mean, at the time of recording, it's less than a week away from the actual Oscar ceremony. So I need to be efficient and I need to be fast. And as such, I'm going to be reusing a lot of the same videos. This introduction I'm recording now will be on each of these videos. I mean, I need to introduce each of the videos in case you come across them individually. So I may as well just record one introduction and use it in each of the videos. And if you watch more than one of these, you'll be seeing this a lot. And as such, there will be a time code in the comments to tell you when the actual content starts. And when I will be talking about the same film in different categories, I'll also be reusing that video as well. So you will be seeing some repeats, but again, you can check in the time codes. And with such a vast project, you need a starting point. In certain categories, there is a shortlist. In both the documentary feature and the international feature categories, the Academy publishes a 15-film long list. And in the animated feature category, they publish a list of eligible films. And this year, there were 27 eligible animated features. But other than those categories with a specific list, the starting point that I use is the lists that are published on goldderby.com, which is basically the industry standard for this kind of Oscar preview and prediction. So if a performance or a film was listed on the Gold Derby lists of Oscar potential, there was a chance, however remote, that a performance or a film did have a chance at the Oscars. And that is the list I will be using, with a couple of tweaks which will come up during some of these videos. So that is my starting point, and if it wasn't published on goldderby.com, it's not going to be under consideration. And this has already gone on for far too long, so let's get on with this categories analysis.
Best Supporting Actress. Nominee.
The Banshees of Inisherin is a black and sometimes absurdist comedy. And the heart and soul of the Banshees of Inisherin is Kerry Condon. She is the core of rationality, of good sense, of intelligence. right at the centre of this film, which could have ended up being a rather thankless role in this film, being the sister of Colin Farrell, the sensible one in the family, who is exasperated with Colin Farrell's obsession with his lost friendship with Brendan Gleeson, exasperated with Colin Farrell's obsession with the little donkey, exasperated by Barry Keoghan's obsession with her. Yet she was made for bigger things. She is intelligent. She's the only person in the film we see reading at any time. She has a love of books, of education, yet she's stuck on this tiny island off the coast of Ireland, and it's kind of killing her. And all the stuff that's going on with her brother Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson is one of the final spurs which makes her want something bigger, something more. And we can see the sensible, rational person in the movie leaving. And then everybody's off the wall crazy. And that is, a good part of the film that Martin McDonagh put in there, because towards the end of the film, things get completely out of hand. And maybe if Kerry Condon was still there, they would be. And that is, I think, a good indication that the absence of Kerry Condon in this film makes things worse. So the fact that Kerry Condon is there for such a long part of the film and is so exasperated with everything that's going on, I think it tells you something about where the Banshees of Inisherin is going and where it could have gone. And yeah, Kerry Condon pulls it off really, really well. I think there's a very strong case to be made that Kerry Condon is actually going to win this category. I can make an argument very strongly for Kerry Condon to win. I don't think it's going to happen, and it's also not going to be my personal choice. But Kerry Condon is thoroughly deserving of this Oscar nomination. She is the rational centre of the Banshees of Inisherin, and she pulls it off remarkably well. So her performance is a yay, and I do think she deserved this Oscar nomination.
Best Supporting Actress. Nominee.
Jamie Lee Curtis is a very good actress. She's a very respected actress. She has had a long, distinguished career, admittedly mostly in populist fare rather than award-baiting fare, but she is still a respected actress, and I'm really pleased that she can now call herself an Oscar nominee. I just don't think this particular role was Oscar-worthy. As I was sitting down watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, yes, I was thinking Michelle Yeoh, potential Oscar nominee. Yes, I was thinking Stephanie Chau, potential Oscar nominee. A little bit Ke Huy Quan, but I'll be getting onto that in the supporting actor video. I was not thinking Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't think this role is big enough. I don't think it is strong enough. I don't think it gives Jamie Lee Curtis enough to work with. It gives her enough range to fully justify this Oscar nomination. It's great that she has it, and the fact she won the Screen Actors Guild Award for this, that, in my opinion, was definitely a career achievement award rather than a specific award for Everything Everywhere All at Once. But it's just not big enough. It's not strong enough. And much as I love Jamie Lee Curtis, much as I respect Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't think this role is worthy of an Oscar nomination. In my opinion, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once is only a meh, and I don't think she deserved this Oscar nomination.
Best Supporting Actress. Nominee.
Stephanie Chau in Everything Everywhere All at Once is the performance I think everybody should be paying attention to. I was very, very impressed with this performance as I was watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think the cat is safely out of the bag now, and I can say that Stephanie Chau performs a dual role in the film, and both sides of that are done really, really well. You have the angry, resentful young daughter of Michelle Yeoh, who is struggling with her mother over her sexuality, over her girlfriend, struggling with her heritage, not wanting to be dragged down into the boring mire that her mother has been living in for the past few decades. And she does that very, very well. She also has to play Jobu Tupaki, the villain of the piece, and he's just dripping with malevolence. I was looking at it, I was thinking, wow, that's the same girl. There's such a different vibe, such a different energy. And she does it very, very well. And also has the connection with Michelle Yeoh that is needed for the story to unfold. It is the story of the mother-daughter relationship, first and foremost, in my opinion. And that is the parts of the film which need to work, need to be connected. And I think Stephanie Chau does both of those things very, very well. Having to play the resentful, queer, teenager young woman in the film, and also having the gleaming white room with the elaborate hairstyle and the bagel at the end of the room, and just dripping with malevolence, and all the fighting towards the end. I mean, trying to stop the fight by having the conversation between mother and daughter, or mother and version of daughter, using the psychology rather than instantly going to the fighting. I mean, yes, eventually it goes to the fighting, but having that moment between them, or several moments between them in various different guises in various different contexts, and keeping it all together, and having the subtle differences for the subtle differences in character, and sometimes the not so subtle differences in character. Stephanie Chau manages it all, and I was very, very impressed with Stephanie Chau. And it's Stephanie Chau who I think deserves much, much more attention, much, much more credit than Jamie Lee Curtis does. I mean, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis is a legend, but in this specific film, I think Stephanie Chau is better. And if either of the actresses from Everything Everywhere All at Once deserves the Oscar, it's Stephanie Chau. She's not going to be my choice. I don't think she is going to win, but I think she deserves it a little bit more than Jamie Lee Curtis. And that's just the way things go sometimes. So yeah, Stephanie Chau's performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once is a yay. I definitely think she deserves this Oscar nomination, and I think she deserves it more than Jamie Lee Curtis, much as I respect Jamie Lee Curtis. So yeah, Stephanie Chau in Everything Everywhere All at Once is a yay.
Best Supporting Actress. Snubbed. Best Supporting Actress. Snubbed.
It's not all that common for two performers in the same film to get nominated in the same category. Although this year proves that rule, because we had two supporting actors from Banshees and Inisherin getting nominated, and two supporting actresses from Everything Everywhere All at Once getting nominated. But the film that I think deserved two Best Supporting Actress nominations this year was one that didn't get any. I think both Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy deserve Best Supporting Actress nominations for Women Talking. And I think herein lies the problem with Women Talking. I really do think that there's so many good performances in the film that it split the vote. There was a lot of attention for at least one of these actresses getting a Best Supporting Actress nomination, probably Jessie Buckley, but it ended up not happening. And when you have such great performers like Jessie Buckley, Claire Foy, Rooney Mara, Frances McDormand, who has a tiny, tiny role in the film, Judith Ivey, it's difficult to pick one out. And I think a perfect demonstration of this complexity is the fact that my personal favourite performance in Women Talking is from one of the lesser known actresses, Sheila McCarthy. I personally would have gone for Sheila McCarthy in this category, but she wasn't on the Gold Derby list, so by my rules, she's not eligible for this video. But both Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy are, and they made it, which shows just how good a series of performances there were in Women Talking. And apart from anything else, I think this is a very, very good argument why the Oscars needs a Best Ensemble category, because that's what Women Talking is. And yes, everybody has their individual moments. I mean, my personal choice, Sheila McCarthy, is the older woman with wisdom who more often uses parables than anything else to try and get her argument across. Jessie Buckley is somebody who is very restrictive. It's her mindset that she needs to stay and forgive the men who have sexually abused her and all the women around her for years. She is very controlled in that way. Claire Foy is just really, really angry. She wants to give physical violence to certain of these men, and she is the most militant of them. And then you have somebody like Rooney Mara, who, if there is a lead of the film, she is the lead. But she is pregnant through rape and is somewhere in the middle. I mean, she is hearing arguments from either side. I mean, either stay and fight or leave. And all the discussions, all the intricacies, all the stuff that women have to deal with in so many different ways. This is an extreme example of that. But women have to have these kinds of thoughts, these kinds of conversations constantly. And Sarah Polley, the director, does such a good job of portraying all this. And all the acting is very good. I mean, and the two very, very different psychologies and the two very different performances from Jessie Buckley, from Claire Foy, are excellent. Each of them has their individual moments to shine. I think Jessie Buckley has the best individual moment of the film, arguably, whereas Claire Foy has the best individual speech of the film. And each of them, in their own way, is a beautiful contributor to this great ensemble. I mean, this is an ensemble film, but if anybody needs to be picked out, I think both Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy are very, very good representations of this film. And the fact that both of them made the cut suggests how strong the film universally is as far as the acting goes. So, yeah, I think that both Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy are yays for Women Talking, and they both deserve Oscar nominations for Best Supporting Actress.
Best Supporting Actress will win.
With this nomination, Angela Bassett became the first performer to ever get nominated for an Oscar for appearing in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, which is a notable achievement. And personally speaking, I think Michael B. Jordan in the first Black Panther should have got that accolade, but whatever. Angela Bassett made it, and I think to some degree this is a kind of lifetime achievement award. I mean, here is a great actress who, yes, has had one Oscar nomination in her background. She got nominated for What's Love Got to Do with It, and then lost out to Holly Hunter in The Piano, which was probably fair enough. Now she gets another bite at the cherry, which I thought, and I think many people thought, was all it was going to get. I mean, here's a nice story, a long-standing actress getting another gong, or another nomination. And then she won the Golden Globe. Really? Fine if you want to nominate her. I mean, she's not on my list. But to actually win the Golden Globe? Really? I think parts of this is, an established actress later in her career getting another shot, and part of it is the whole feeling around Black Panther Wakanda Forever. The unfortunate death of Chadwick Boseman, the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman, put a pall over the Black Panther second movie, which was undeniable. And Angela Bassett playing the mother of T'Challa, I'm sure she was channeling a lot of real life grief over Chadwick Boseman in her performance. And it is a good performance. Being determined to keep her country together against the threat of, the Submariner, Namor the Submariner, and the Aztec underworld people. But determined to keep her country together, determined to allow her son's legacy to live on, but also showing the vulnerability and being the queen as well as being the vulnerable, grieving mother. She did do a very, very good job. I don't think it quite reaches the level of Oscar nomination, and certainly not an Oscar win, but I think that Angela Bassett is going to win this category. So even though, as far as I'm concerned, the performance is a yay, I think it's a good performance. It didn't make my personal list of nominees, and yet I think it's actually going to win the Oscar. So, yeah, that's a weird combination. I mean, it was the same thing with Will Smith last year. I just don't think that was an Oscar-worthy performance. And then he hit Chris Rock and still tried to spin it in his acceptance speech. It's going to be interesting seeing how they deal with Will Smith, because traditionally he would hand out Best Actress this year, but doubt that's going to happen. That's beside the point. Yeah, so it's a good performance. It's a yay. I don't think it should have got an Oscar nomination, and yet I do think it's going to win this Oscar for Angela Bassett in Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Best Supporting Actress should win.
When I sat down to watch The Whale, I was fully aware that Brendan Fraser was the favourite at the time to win Best Actor. So that was the context with which I watched The Whale. I mean, this is a movie I'm watching to some degree because of Brendan Fraser. But as I was watching the film, I became more and more impressed with Chau. I think she is phenomenal in this film. I've been impressed with her for quite some time. I mean, I haven't honestly seen her in much. I mean, I genuinely think she deserved an Oscar nomination for Downsizing. She was also very, very good in Brian Dennehy's last completed film, Driveways. She was excellent in that. And also this year, or in 2022, she had a small but very significant and very funny role in The Menu as well. And she's going to be in Kelly Reichardt's new film coming out here in the UK in 2023 as well. So Chau has such an interesting role in this film because, yes, she is Brendan Fraser's nurse. She is his only close friend. She is also an enabler. She is the one who brings him, a bucket of chicken. She is the one who brings him 2 meatball subs with extra cheese. She is doing this because she doesn't know what else to do. I mean, over the course of the film, we realise that there is a very specific bond between these two people, Chau and Brendan Fraser. And I think Chau's kind of given up. I mean, she repeatedly says, you should go to the hospital, but She no longer tries to force it. It's Hong Chau who says, your blood pressure is so high, you are going to die very, very soon. And it's that which spurs him to get in touch with his daughter Sadie Sink. And the interactions that Sadie Sink has with Hong Chau, and indeed Hong Chau has with the missionary Tai Simpkins, there's some really interesting stuff going on there. And Hong Chau's backstory, living in conservative, very religious Idaho, has some overlap and some parallels with Brendan Fraser's backstory of living in very conservative, evangelical church-going Idaho. And exploring those backstories adds such an extra layer. I mean, there's a specific scene with Hong Chau talking to this missionary Tai Simpkins, which is really powerful stuff. So yeah, the backstory that Hong Chau presents, as well as the enabling stuff, bringing him all this food, with which Brendan Fraser is gradually killing himself. There's some complexities going on there, and I was very, very impressed with Hong Chau in this film. And I think she actually deserves to win this category. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I can make a strong case for pretty much everybody else except Hong Chau and maybe Stephanie Hsu. I think the other three are definitely in with a shout. But in my opinion, in my heart, Hong Chau is the best performer in this category. I think her performance in The Whale is a yay, and I think she deserves to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. In the Best Supporting Actress category, the actual nominees are Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chau for The Whale, Kerry Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. My personal list of nominees would be Jessie Buckley for Women Talking, Hong Chau for The Whale, Kerry Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Claire Foy for Women Talking, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think what is going to win this category is Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Although this is quite an open field, and I think Kerry Condon is a very, very strong shout to win this Oscar. Maybe even Jamie Lee Curtis. But my personal choice is one that has very little chance of actually winning, but I think she's the best of the year, and that is Hong Chau for The Whale. And as I leave you with some honourable mentions in this category, which I think are worthy of note, a reminder that I have several more videos in this playlist which analyse different categories at the 2023 Oscars. You can check those out if you desire, even though if you watch enough of them you will have to skip some pieces of footage that I reused, including this closing statement. I am planning to do a reaction video to the Oscars themselves. I haven't quite figured out the technicals of that, but we'll have to see how that goes. And if you appreciate the kinds of things that I'm doing, I have an audio podcast, and I have various other things on this channel that you might want to check out. So you can like, comment, subscribe if you wish. And basically, that's all I have for this particular video. So I'll see you next time, where I shine a light on cinema, both obvious and obscure.